I'm not defined by the mediums that I work in. I think some people would define themselves as a painter, sculptor, what have you. I see all of my work as connected. The 3D work came about because I was bored with just painting and drawing, and I wanted to actually feel these forms that I draw realistically in the world. So I started playing around with different materials that artist friends of mine said, just draw with sculpture. And then I started drawing with it and started seeing an open space as a canvas. I think every artist has a degree of autobiographical nature in their work, and I think the environments that I make them to live in them, and then I'm not there. I like living in the cracks. I love laying on the ground with my work, and I always leave a space for myself that stays for me. I like to come back to that place. So I'll just say this, that all my life I've had this dream since I was a child of running naked in a field and that no one's there and I can just do whatever I want to do. That's how I feel in my studio. I'm an artist. I'm an advocate for artists. I'm an educator. I'm a culture producer. I'm an author, editor. I'm a volunteer for many boards of nonprofit organizations, and I'm a contributor to the creative economy. I think that work is a privilege, and so I try to do as much of that as possible. I feel as though that everything I do is things that I feel grateful for. When I'm working in my studio, I do everything at once. So while I'm painting, I'll be on the phone, I'll be checking my email. But I like that cross connection because I don't see a difference between what I do in my studio to what I do outside my studio. Matthew, I can't believe I got you. I'm super excited. So tell me now, what do you want to do? I don't see that there's a business side or an art side. I mean, I'm not going to drop my oil paint brush if my dealer is calling and get changed into a suit just to talk to them. I mean, I just don't believe that anymore. I think for me, it's all threaded together. And this is a way of reaching these people that really need it across the country and abroad. I'm always interested in conversation and interaction. I think it's very rich, and I love to live by that. Okay, talk to you later. Thanks.
All right, I'll talk to you.
Ciao, bye.
Hey!
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Come on in. Today, my dealer, Patrick Haida from London, is coming in to see my work for an upcoming exhibition. Okay, so let's look at the work. Patrick and I have worked together for about 11 years, and we've had a long dialogue about many different things, but the work itself has evolved over that 11 years. And it's always an exchange, and it's always interesting to hear his perspectives.
I love this one, actually.
You do?
Yeah, with the dark shape hovering in the back. And it's also, obviously the brush strokes have a kind of flow to it, and this is so strictly outlined, and that confrontation is very nice.
My current work is really, I think, entrenched in color as a active form or vehicle to be able to give emphasis into these little sort of stumbling blocks, as I call them. They're very loud, like me, loud and clear. The color goes outward from the back to the front, from the white towards the person looking at the work, as a way of being perhaps loud and vocal, but yet hopefully colorful and joyous. And implying movement and conversation.
Themes like the blues are floating in the back.
Yes.
Much more here or
Right.
there as well. She's
Exactly.
sitting in the back.
Some people may think these are so simple. It takes time to make these decisions, for me at least, to say, how does the color perform?
But you were thinking of framing them up, I suppose.
No.
Leave them like that.
Yes.
Wow.
No, but the collector can frame them.
Yeah, they can.
You know, but
and they're gonna be so much cheaper to ship, huh?
Exactly.
To London. No frames.
I know, I can
Come
just
on.
ship them. I just put them in an envelope. Artists want to be validated in sharing their truth. My work is my truth. So is so many other artists, their truth. And they should have the opportunity to be able to express freely that human right of expression. So I'm trying to create a bridge between the artist and the public through this book and all of the efforts by which I sustain my own creative life. Living and Sustaining a Creative Life is essays by 40 working artists that just start a conversation about how they sustain a creative life. This book, I had no idea it would be sold in 18 countries and in a 62-stop book tour where thousands of people would engage in conversation. What I learned from that first book tour is that just an artist going to another community impacts that community tremendously. A lot of these communities all over the country and all over the world really never have opportunities to cross-pollinate with other artists. My next book, The Artist as Culture Producer, is a book that goes much deeper. So I was interested in showing how artists thrive in their studios but contribute into the public realm. So we're here today to look at my manuscript. Susanna is the official copy editor who's completely objective, and then Vince and I are the non-objective people. I really believe that the things that artists do today are hidden, and if they were more exposed, there would be more harmony in this world. The artist contributes to well-being by not just the pictures that we offer and windows of imagination, but an artist, by example, can start something from nothing, with nothing. And to me, that's a huge asset. I had lived in New York for 23 years. Because of the Legacy Fund and the Minnesota citizens enacting that Legacy Fund, and as an advocate for artists, I thought, why not live there and be a part of that activism and community? Whenever there's darkness, artists just keep going, and they keep making their work to give a different view. I think being creative is a human right, and we are the activists by our nature that state that for every individual in the world.